This week for our retro review, we're going to be doing our favorite Caped Crusader and the movie that started it all, Batman 1989. This movie was directed by Tim Burton, starring Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne / Batman and Jack Nicholson as the Joker. This movie actually won an Oscar for Best Art Direction when it came out, which is pretty impressive for it coming out in 1989 and being a superhero movie for its time. Pretty cool fact. This is also the first time Batman donned his black cape and black suit for the very first time in a live action feature. Beforehand, in Adam West, he wore a blue out suit, which Tim Burton wanted to switch up to also go with the dark theme and nature of Batman. Now, a quick synopsis of this film. It's basically Batman going at war with the Joker over Gotham City. It's a basic comic book story of Batman fighting off a villain, but it is perfect because Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson play off one another very good. Michael Keaton to me is probably one of my favorite Batmans because Batman / Bruce Wayne. I want to emphasize that. I love Christopher Nolan's Batmans, but I don't feel like Christian Bale plays really good Bruce Wayne besides the first Batman Begins. And then it's mainly focused on the villains, where I feel like in this film, Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton have like the same screen time and can play off one another very nicely. He plays a very like aloof Bruce Wayne. People know he's very wealthy. Not a lot of people even know who he is because he just hides out in his house. And it's very fun to watch Michael Keaton play that character because beforehand we always saw him as a comedic actor, and his last like big role before this movie was Beetlejuice, also directed by Tim Burton. So when he did this movie, people boycotted and were writing tons of things against Tim Burton for choosing Michael Keaton to play Bruce Wayne. I know he does not fit the comic as Batman, but I feel like he really does a good job at adding depth to Bruce Wayne, as well as going through his family tragedy that happened when he was a very young kid. You see a different side of Keaton. He plays a very dramatic role for him. He plays the hero, but also a very wealthy millionaire that has heart. As you can tell throughout the film, he really cares about Alfred, and then also Vicky Vale, who he meets. I mean, it's his love interest, but you can tell that there's a connection there. And he's also very funny. He's like very funny moments. It's like one-liners that he says here and there. He's not like a comedian the whole time, but I like that about what he added to him. I don't know. He just fit like the perfect Bruce Wayne. That was the first movie I saw as Batman, and I envisioned him playing it. As we all know, Bruce Wayne's like very conflicted, especially from his family's tragedy when they died when he was very young, and he sees the bat, and they explore that really well in this film, I feel like. You know, he falls through the cave, sees the bats, it haunts him, and it shows like a deeper side to him. They also do that in Batman Begins, which is amazing. I love that scene, but there's a lot of stuff that Christopher Nolan emulates from Tim Burton's films, which I'll go into a little later. Now we're going to talk about the Joker, who is played by wonderful Jack Nicholson. He really changed how we looked at the Joker, I feel like. Again, in the comics, he's like how you think the Joker is, but we also look at the Adam West Joker, who was very like goofy, cartoony, like blah. Even though cartoony's not bad because Mark Hamill does a great representation of the Joker in the animated series. Jack Nicholson added his own spin to that villain, and it really paid off. The only gripe I have with it probably are all the Prince songs, but that's it. That's the only thing I don't like. But him himself playing the Joker, he embodied the Joker. He had the laugh down. He had everything, like a psychopath, serial killer. He played all of them. In this film, though, they actually give the Joker a backstory, which a lot of movies don't really. Like, if you look at The Dark Knight, Heath Ledger doesn't really have a backstory. He says, like, multiple stories about himself throughout the movie. You don't know which one is true. But just one shows you exactly. Again, if you haven't seen this is going to be spoiler, so spoilers, but it shows you that he was actually the person that killed his parents when Bruce Wayne was younger. So that's kind of like cool because it gives even that more like, you know, Bruce Wayne wants to, you know, revenge his family and everything. So I really like that, even though it's nothing in the comics, but I like that Tim Burton put his own spin with the Joker. The film is very dark and gloomy, but Jack Nicholson's character as the Joker adds that bright pop of color to the film. He's in this purple tuxedo, green hair, white face, which they explain that he fall into acid, which causes thing in reaction to his face. It also caused him to have a permanent smile, and he embraces that as the Joker. Jack Nicholson killed his part as the Joker, as he added a very menacing tone to him, and as well, like, his character was so well portrayed that he was even nominated for certain awards because of the Joker, which is really, you know, that's just like one character that you just know and love of a villain from a superhero. There's not many villains you could say from superheroes you remember very well. Just like in the Dark Knight scene with the Joker and the pencil, the Batman movie, the Joker does the thing where he electrocutes a man, his sidekicks that he's working with, trying to gain control of Gotham City. Then we go into like the second Batman feature featuring Michael Keaton and Catwoman. There's a Catwoman and him dance. The same thing that happens in Dark Knight Rises with Catwoman and Batman. I know, like, you can't do much, but I could see, like, that Christopher Nolan was, you know, using those, I feel like just using what Tim Burton brought to Batman, because he brought something special to that character. There's also very famous lines, especially given from Jack Nicholson as the Joker, which Bruce Wayne / Batman Keaton's character says to him at the end. He puts 2 to 2 together and realizes that he is the one that killed his parents when he was younger. And have you ever danced with the devil in a pale moonlight? I just love that line. I think it's so cool. I love the ending. Especially, I didn't even talk about this. This is how... Okay, so the scene at the end where Joker's hanging with Batman and, you know, he's about to die, they do almost the same exact thing in Dark Knight. I remember seeing Dark Knight and that scene where Heath Ledger's hanging. I thought he was gonna die, just like in the Batman movie. And I was like, they copied. But I understand, I mean, but I just thought that, I mean, even if Christopher Nolan's taking some things, I feel like the Batman movie is one of the best superhero movies. I'm just gonna have to throw that out there. So there's definitely similar trends between the Dark Knight franchise and then Tim Burton's Batman movie. So I don't know, I'm just gonna point that out there. I mean, I love Christopher Nolan's, but the Batman and Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson just did a wonderful job. And I just feel like I'm talking my head off because I just love this movie. And with Wonder Woman coming out and with positive reviews, I'm really excited for the DCU to change itself around because I've always loved the DCU. I love, you know, Marvel movies, but I've always loved Batman. I'm really excited for Justice League coming up. So I thought I'd do this little retro review. But yeah, I highly suggest you all to go rewatch it. You all enjoy it. Michael Keaton, like I said, is great, and so is Jack Nicholson. They are a pair, and yeah, I really think it's a great Batman movie. Even though it's not based, I mean, it's kind of based on comics, but it takes its own story because of Tim Burton and what he put into it. But yeah, I really hope you all enjoyed this retro review. If you could, hit the like button down below, as well as subscribe. I would appreciate it because, well, we would appreciate it, but I would appreciate it just to say that you like Batman 1989, or what's your favorite Batman movie? Let me know down below. And yeah, bye guys.